What is up, you guys? Today, we are going to be answering the question, how do I pick the perfect builder for me and my family? But before that, let's talk about the perfect beer. Any minute now, go ahead. Today, we're going to be drinking Red Riot. It's a red rye Indian pale ale. Red Riot. It feels racist, but that could just mean that I am being racist, which I'm not.
Would you say that you're racist?
Not at all. No.
Yeah.
Look at my dog. He's as black as can be.
It's an 8.5%, which we know I love myself some higher percentages. It's just less bloating. You get the job done a lot faster. You enjoy the flavor. So let's taste this potentially racist beer. Okay, this is going to sound weird, but it tastes red. Like, I know that sounds weird, but like imagine if red had a flavor. And I'm thinking of like the red hot like candies, whatever, which I think are disgusting. It's a great beer. I would still give it an 8 out of 10. So let's just dive right into how to pick a builder. And this is my personal recommendation. This is actually how I advise a lot of my clients on how to approach picking a builder and narrowing down this huge list of hundreds, thousands of builders that may be in your area. So the 5 things we want to take into consideration are, and in no particular order, budget, style/design, incentives that they're currently offering, availability, and number 5, reputation/warranty. Again, these are in no particular order, but I would say that they all carry a significant weight of importance. So let's talk about price. Price is a really good place to start. There are certain builders that specialize in luxury. So Toll Brothers is one of the nation's largest builders, and they are America's luxury home builder. Their price points significantly higher than America's largest builder, D.R. Horton. So if we take into consideration just these two, I'm not vouching for either one of them. I'm not saying that one's better than the other. I am simply saying that Toll Brothers is America's luxury home builder, and D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder. In fact, I think those are their slogans. What does that mean? That means that if you are someone who is purchasing their first home, maybe right out of college, and you are on a budget, then you may want to go with a D.R. Horton home. D.R. Horton builds track, production, template, inventory homes, spec homes. We have a whole video that we released last week. I encourage you to check out, talk a little bit about custom versus template homes, but D.R. Horton would be just that. They would be a builder that says, these are our homes, these are our floor plans, this is the design, take it or leave it. What that means is they're generally more affordable, they're more economical, and they tend to offer more incentives. Why is that? Because they get to purchase in volume. So let's take Toll Brothers. Let's say Toll Brothers builds 5 homes. Now, they're probably all going to be different because they're luxury, so they're custom to a certain extent, semi-custom, fully custom. They do everything, actually. So they have 5 kitchens. They're ordering 5 types of cabinets. They're ordering 5 different countertops. They're ordering maybe even 5 different appliances because one of them wants, I don't know, Wolf. One of them wants whatever. Whereas D.R. Horton, they're building 5 homes. They're going to order 5 of the same countertops, 5 of the same cabinets, 5 Frigidaire appliances, 5. So they get to take advantage of bulk pricing, and honestly, they do pass on that savings to you. So I'm not saying that Toll Brothers is just overcharging you and they're overpriced and you should never go with Toll Brothers. No, I'm just saying that their expenses to build a house are much higher. Their operating expenses are much higher because they are literally taking each project individually, building it, packing it, and handing it to you. Whereas D.R. Horton, which is what they're known for and they're good at it, is they take all these homes, they build them, and then they say, here we go, here's a good shell, go make it your own. Paint it the walls that you want, paint the walls the color that you want, change the floor, the carpet, whatever you want. We just give you a solid build and move on. Whereas Toll Brothers is like, no, let me do it for you. What cabinets do you want? Take a nap, lay down, let me massage your feet, I'll take care of it, right? There's a time and there's a place for both. So budget is a big contender. Where are you? If you're barely getting started, then great, maybe D.R. Horton's the way to go. Whatever, you won the lottery, by all means, go Toll Brothers. We're assuming that these are the only 2 builders in the world. So budget is a great place to start. You think, okay, in my area, let's say your budget is $500,000. Okay, there's a list of builders that build in that range that we can immediately say, okay, let's start to consider these builders because they build within your range. Don't consider these builders because they don't build in your range. Or these builders are less than your range, but for your budget, we can get you more with these builders. So let's just think of it like that. Number 2, as I mentioned, is going to be style and design. Now, this may not apply to everybody, but there are some builders that build a great farm style, ranch style, whatever, traditional Texas home, shall we call it, right? They're really good at the shiplap. They're really, really nice porches. And then there's another builder that's really good at building that super modern style home. Now, let's take away style and design for a moment and even take into consideration the bones of the house. So for example, my friend Brian, he is a technology guy. If he could put a chip in his hand and just think and his house would do it, he would do it in an instant. Brian loves technology and he loves to automate as much as he can. He's weird like that. It's just the truth, right? Whereas myself, I'm like, I like some automation, but I don't necessarily care for my blinds to be on, timers and all that. Brian, no. Brian wants to like open his eyes, his house to know that he's awake and like do everything for him. So there's a builder in my particular market area that I know is really good with smart homes. They built a lot of technology. They put in like their Wi-Fi home, smart homes. Like they are phenomenal. They have Alexa built into the walls. They are really, really good at what they do, right? But the reality is there's a premium for that. But if Brian comes up to me and he's like, but I want it to be a smart home. You know what, Brian? These are the builders that are really good at smart homes. Like they're really good at this. And again, they do so much smart homes that they take advantage of bulk pricing that they're able to then pass on that savings to you. So that's where I would take Brian, right? Because I'm not only taking into consideration, the style and the design, but I'm also taking into consideration the use of the home and how the person is going to utilize and live in that home. So style, functionality, design, all those things are something to take into consideration because some builders do it better than others. Now, that's not to say that all builders can't build a smart home, that all builders can't put smart blinds, Alexas, or security systems in their homes. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that depending on maybe a very niche thing that you're looking for example, I know plenty of builders outside of the custom world, they just will not do pools. But if you're dead set on your new construction home having a pool, then I'm going to immediately just say, okay, well, all these builders are out and these builders will do pools. Let's start there, right? So again, there's maybe not one necessary point where you need to start, but this is just another one to take into consideration is what does that builder maybe specialize in and what can they offer you? And can they save you money because they specialize in that particular niche item that you're looking for? Number 3 is going to be availability. Now, availability is something that come and goes in neighborhoods, right? For example, like you may have always wanted to live in this neighborhood that's always been there, and then the house goes on the market, someone buys it and it's no longer there, and now you can't live in that neighborhood until another house goes for sale. That's the same for new construction. There's only a certain amount of lots, there's only a certain amount of communities that you can buy and you can build in. So let's say, as I said early in this video, is let's say that you're relocating from wherever you're relocating to a new city and you have 2 months to move. Then you need to find a house that you can move into within those 2 months. So the availability is super important. So if you tell me, Robert, I gotta be in my house in 2 months. Okay, well, all these builders don't have anything that you can move in the next 2 months, but these do. And then we apply the rest of the criteria, design, budget, blah, 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 that stuff, right? Availability is important. But if you're someone who's like, I live in my house, I can sell it whenever I want, okay, great. Then we don't even have to worry about availability. We can pick from everybody. We don't even have to take this into consideration. But availability is something that's important because it's another way of asking, like, what's your timeline? Should we be aware of a lease, right? Because let's say that you say, hey, Robert, well, my lease doesn't end for another 8 months. You want to be in this community and they only have 2 homes left. The reality is, like, either we got to compromise. If you really want to be in this community, those 2 homes may not be there in the next 8 months. So do we want to terminate the lease or what do we want to do? Availability is something that you need to take into consideration. Number 4 is incentives. How much is the builder giving you? Are they giving you money to move in? Are they giving you upgrades? What are they offering you to make that deal a little bit sweeter? Because that same house may be a little cheaper or have more upgrades down the street with a different builder. So incentives can be anything from upgrades to financial incentives with your loan to even assistance with down payment. Different things across the board. And I know assistance with down payment is a weird one because I have a whole video on, like, you have to pay for your own down payment, but I recently found a product that's interesting. But there is now assistance with your down payment. Lastly, number 5 is going to be warranties and reputation. Don't just pick a builder that builds 1 or 2 homes and changes their LLC every single year to get out of warranties. Make sure that you're picking a builder that warranties their work, that stands behind their product and stands the test of time. Because at the end of the day, if they don't stand behind their product and they're not willing to warranty the work that they are building and giving to you and your family are living in, then pay a little more. It's okay. I promise you it'll be worth it in the long run. So those are my top 5 things. Budget, again, not always the most important, but for most people, it's where you start. Availability, incentives, warranties / reputations, as well as design and features that house has. Those are the ways that you can start to narrow down what builder works for you. So at the end of the day, if you have any questions about new construction, beers, or anything at all at this point, leave a comment below and I will personally reach out to you. But if you're ready to start talking new construction or homes or beers, click on the link below, schedule a call, and either myself or a member of my team will be in touch. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.